So what's going on, guys? Got a new product I like to share with you. So recently I was using the DJI Osmo 360 and somehow I managed to lose the lens cap. So I've just literally just plonked it in there and there's no lens cap on the camera. So if you own this camera, you know that that lens cap fits on the lenses very tightly anyway. So instead of buying a new lens cap, which I didn't really like, I decided to go and get a cage. And I've seen a few cages online, one of them being small rig. Initially I would go with small rig, but because of the issue where you can see the cage in your footage, you get a faint black line right at the bottom of the camera. I really didn't want that, and reading online I found out that this one does not have that problem. So it's going to be a little unboxing showing you what's in the box and what you get. So let's take a look at the Tilta Osmo 360 cage. So let's jump into the unboxing of the Tilta Cage. I've already opened the box to see what it's like, but I thought I'd share with you what you get and why you should go with this cage. So let's open it up. From the top we've got a instruction card. You can scan this with your phone and it'll take you to a link showing you how to use the cage. Don't need that, so chuck it to the side. Besides that, we get screen protectors inside as well. I think it's only one, I believe. Feels like one in the packet, but I already got one fitted to the Osmo 360, so I don't particularly need it, but it's nice to have a spare. So that is a nice touch from Tilta. Taking the pouch out of the box, or the box, it does come with this black pouch, which is a hard case, which should protect the camera pretty well compared to the standard one, which you get a very flimsy, bendy pouch. It's nice and soft inside, but it doesn't really add any protection to the camera. So putting that to the side, we can open up the box, and inside we have got our Tilta Cage with a lens cap, and inside here we've got a lanyard, a very big lanyard. Not something I would personally use. I think yeah, I don't think I would ever use that, but it's a nice touch. It's nice to have to it. So that is the lens protector. I'll show you that in a minute, but this is quite flexible and soft. I do think as well this one will allow for the lens protectors to fit in there. When you fit this on the camera, it is a slight gap between the lens and the rubber, so there's obviously room there for lens protectors. So if we look at the cage, there is a button on the side here. This allows you to open up the top like so. Bear with me. And that is your lanyard. Not sure why I would need this, but it's nice to have. You obviously screw this into the bottom of your camera, and then you can put your arm through it and have it attached to your arm. It's okay for single lens mode, but if you was going to use the 360 camera, this is not really useful. So chuck that to the side and we get to the good stuff. So looking at the cage from the front, it's a very simple design, a very open cage as well. So you've got a big, huge open slot here. Tilta do sell two variants to this. The one has some sort of quarter 20 mount on the side, so you can mount it vertical instead of horizontal. I personally didn't want that, adding weight to the cage. I just wanted to keep it as light as possible without adding too much weight, and it's not something I would use, so it's pointless for me to get that. So I've left that out. We've also got a big open space here for your battery compartment, so you do not have to take the cage off to get the batteries out. Same goes for the bottom. It is a big open compartment for your quick magnet attachment, and also your selfie stick, invisible selfie stick. So there's plenty of room there. There's no restrictions going on there. On the other side as well, we got a big open slot for your USB camera bay. This allows it to open up without taking the cage off, so that is a nice touch. And on the top of the cage we have got a cold shoe mount. This can be used to mount a light, for example, if you're vlogging. So by here I've got a GoPro little LED, and we can slide that directly on the top, and we've got our own personal light. Maybe a good idea for vlogging in single lens mode. Personally would not use something like this on a 360 mode, as you get a bright image one side and a dark image the other side. It just looks horrible and the stitching will not work very well. But it's nice to have that on the top. It's a great addition from Tilta. Besides that, we got two 1/4-20s on top, and we got one on the side by here that can be used. The latch on the top as well is nice, clips in nice, and the camera does actually fit in here nice. From the inside as well, we got some sort of rubber top in by here, which sort of presses against the camera, keeping it nice and snug in the cage. So let's plonk the camera in the cage. Bear with me. This fits lovely and tight in that cage, and then we just put the latch on the top, click in, and there we go. The camera is fitted within the cage. So the battery, like I said, you can pull the batteries out without taking the cage off, which is a nice touch. On my Insta360 one, you have to take the cage off to get the battery out, which is a real pain in the ass, but that is a nice touch to have. And you've got a USB-C on the side that you can get to without removing the cage. But here we got our on and off button. You can power that up like so, and that is pretty much everything with a cage. With this as well, you'd think that this metal bar here would interfere with the lens, but I've tested the camera and we cannot see any of the metal frame within the image on the 360 camera, which is a nice. A few of them have got issues where you can see the bottoms where they've made this section here slightly too thick, causing issues with seeing them in the footage. So these ones here are very thin. The old cage is quite thin really, so you don't get that problem. It's a nice cage, and we got the rubber lens protector on the top. I kind of wish they closed the top of this section off, because when you place this on the lens, it tends to move around, so it is prone to like slipping off the lens, I guess. Not easily, but it's possible. So, but it does protect the lens, and as you can see here, if I show you, you've got a gap there for lens protectors, so you can run lens protectors with this cap. You wouldn't have to buy a new one, so that is a nice touch as well. So yeah, it's a nice cage, and you can plonk it in your case like that, and we are secure. You've got no chance of that lenses being damaged, and it is a hard case versus flimsy pouch. A little side note as well, I always do this, I've done it with my Insta360 as well, is when you put the lens cap on, to prevent any damage or scratch into the lenses, I always plonk a lens cloth on the top and then put the lens cap on top of that, and that gives it that extra protection and peace of mind, so you don't damage the lenses. Also as well, if you do this, every time you take this off, you will have clean lenses. I know these rubber protectors, they do tend to give smudges on the lenses, or if you've got any dirt in there, it can scratch the lenses. So this is a must. I highly recommend doing something like this to protect the lenses. So yeah, that is the Tilta Cage for the Osmo 360, and yeah, if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and let me know If you have any questions about the Cage or any questions about the Osmo 360, I will get back to you. So, I'll see you next time.